Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. We've got another upgrade for the Golf, another head unit from Eonon. This is going to be their VWA12S. So with this one, we're going to have Android 13. We're going to have 6 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage. We're going to have an upgrade on the RAM, the storage, and we're still going to have that Android 13 too. And then we're going to also have that QLED screen. So let's go ahead and see what this new one's going to look like. So here's our actual head unit. Nice touch panel screens here, or touch panel buttons here. We've got our SD card reader there, reset button, and our microphone on the front. And on the back here, got what looks to be very similar. We've got our HDMI input, our main power inputs here, all of our accessory stuff, and our 4G, GPS, and radio antenna inputs. So it's going to be pretty similar to what we have now. And then go ahead and check out what comes on the side with this one. So here's going to be all of our cabling, as well as our instructions and manual. So here's our user manual. We've got anything and everything we're going to need to ever do with this thing. And then this sheet looks to be our connector pinout. So there's going to show you everything that this specific model is going to come with. Here's all your connectors. It looks like a lot, but it's really not that bad. This one you can also do a SIM card with as well. So if you want to have data while you're driving around, you have that option. And then here's going to be what all of these connections actually are. So for all of these smaller connections on the top here, our main wiring harness, it's going to tell us where everything is and what everything does. So that's nice to be able to have this information. Don't have to try to Google it, and it gives it to you right away. The wiring looks to be the same as what we have for the previous models, so we shouldn't have to change anything too much there. In this, we're going to have our SIM card holder and an extra fuse for our main power there. These are going to be our 4G antennas, so we've got 2 antennas for that. Then we've got a GPS antenna, an external microphone. This here is going to be most of your main harness, so this is going to have this is going to plug into your OEM plug there, and I'll show you this on the back end because I already have all this installed. And then you're going to have one of your plugs for your head unit. This is going to be your main harness for the head unit, and then it already has the CAN built in for accessing everything in your car. This is going to be your SD card holder within this box. We've got a couple more plugs and your radio antenna adapter. So all that's already in line with everything we've got here, so you don't have to run any extra remote wires, nothing like that. So while this does look like a lot, it's not that bad once you get everything unplugged. All that we're left with is our USB cords. So one is a USB, and then we have 2 more from another plug. So this is going to be for your charging and wired CarPlay and Android Auto if you want it. But it also works wirelessly as well, so you don't really need to use those if you don't want to. So let's go ahead and jump in the car now and check out our current version that we have in there, and then we'll plug this one in and check out the differences. So here's the Golf. It's a 2012 Volkswagen Golf R. So this specific unit will work with a lot of different cars. This is just a nice, easy plug and play unit that I've been able to use for a very long time. I don't even know when I put the first one in, and they've just been coming out with new generations, new models to make it better, newer operating systems, the whole 9 yards. So they definitely keep on top of it, which is nice. So now that we're in the car here, and I'm on a battery tender too, not that I think that this will use a lot of power by any means, but just in case. And then you see how fast we turned on there. So obviously this is after I've kind of been using it as well for a while, so it already knows the drill as far as hooking up my phone and everything. So it goes straight to CarPlay. We can play music. That's all working. Subwoofer works as well. Our back button, that's working fine. Home button, that's going to show us our home here. And then we've got a power button, which is also our mute. So but everything works. And then I also have the Eonon dash camera in here. Hopefully you can see that up there, right here. As far as our settings go, here's what we're looking like with this version. So we've got our devices, personal settings, system settings, and assembly, and that's about it with this one. And then if we're going back to CarPlay, that's how fast we're going to switch over. And then switching songs, kind of the same thing. So there's kind of scrolling through. So I think the main thing that's going to help with the new unit is having the 6 gigs of RAM. And I have, this isn't displaying because I have maps here, and this isn't connected to any type of internet out here. So that's the reason why this is like that. But I think the main difference we're going to see is having the extra RAM as far as running the applications and everything. I think that's just going to help out overall. But yeah, so that's our current head unit that's in here. All that we have to do to swap these is going to be take this trim piece off. So I'll get a plastic pry tool, and then there's 4 Torx screws, one on each corner, and then we'll take those out. And yeah, then we're ready to remove this unit. Well, here we go. I think it's actually a T25, but T20 will work just fine. And then we're gonna need a plastic pry tool. If I can remember where I put it, there they are. Leave a comment down below if you have a neighbor that leaves their dog out for 8 hours all day and it just barks nonstop. Cause I do, and I love it. Okay, so here's gonna be our tools that we're gonna need to upgrade here. It's a pretty simple swap. So we're literally just gonna unplug everything we got and plug it into this one and then test everything out. All right, so step 1 is going to be remove this bezel here. I normally go from the corner here, and then that'll kind of work it out. So that's how your bezel's connected. It's those little metal pieces, and then they just clip into these plastic pieces on the front there. So we're done with one part of our tools. Our other part's going to be our Torx screws here. So there's one on each corner. Go ahead and remove all 4 of those. And then if you can't see, there's 2 there. This phone holder is just in the way. You're just gonna go ahead and remove this. Some of your cabling might be kind of stuck up behind there, so just grab it from the back. Give yourself a little bit more room. Now what we're gonna do is just start removing stuff. So here's our main harness on the back here. So this one actually did not have a GPS antenna. I might be thinking of one of their other head units actually. So here's going to be our differences between the two. So we got a little bit of a different design between both. The old one just had a GPS connection. Now we're adding in the 4G, which is also going to be used for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So we should definitely have a stronger signal and connection for both of those. And then we're also adding in the HDMI input with the new one. So that's another nice new feature to have. So so we should be good there to swap everything directly in. There's a look from the front there. So let's go ahead and plug in the new one and see what we're looking like. Oh, and then I just noticed too, on the front here, we're gonna have this input as well. So, and then for installing this, it's gonna be exactly the opposite of what we just did. If you're going to use the SIM cards, I would definitely recommend putting these antennas, one on each corner up on your dash, something like that, because you're going to want to have the best signal possible. So both of our antennas are in. Looks like next on this side we're going to have our radio antenna. Sneak that in, and then there's everything plugged in on that side. So all that wiring is still the same. So as far as plugging these in, just pretty much find which hole it looks like and then plug her in. And then same with our main harness here, that gets plugged in there. So my short ones here are my USB plugs, and that's kind of my fault because of I ran them a little poorly. So those are going to be the hardest to plug in, but I can still get them here. Then you're going to want to put everything back inside the hole here and place this back, and then boom, we are installed. So that's how to upgrade the unit here. It's definitely not too bad, easily interchangeable, which is nice as well. And we're gonna go ahead and turn it on. Let's check out our boot time. So we've got 13 there. Then our Eonon logo. And then there's our new front interface there for Android 13. So that is looking quite slick. I know I said, oh yeah, but I don't know if you can tell or not, but it seems nicer to scroll through here. So, and I see a couple more apps too, so we'll go ahead and check those out. And then let me take off my screen cover here. And there we go. There's our new screen. So that is looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and go to Apple CarPlay and get that hooked up first. So it looks like we go to Bluetooth, look for Eonon, and it's already right there. Hit that. The pin is 4 zeros. Pair. And then we see that it connected here. And there we go. We are in with wireless Bluetooth already. And by Bluetooth, I meant to say CarPlay. So we're already in. The phone's done. Phone's to the side. I just went into gear there. Never mind, I'm out of gear. So I don't know if you can tell or not, but like here's a pretty detailed cover as far as covers for, or colors for covers go. But yeah, that is looking extremely clear. Everything has really nice deep coloration here. There's kind of going through these lists. And everything swapped over right away as well. And then that's going to be because of that extra 2 gigs of RAM as well. So that's going to help everything out in the long run. But yeah, color wise, hopefully you guys can tell through the video that it's a lot deeper. All the colors look a lot better. So got some pretty good looking screen here. Screen looks pretty awesome. So there's a little bit of that. CarPlay's working as it should. I hear my subwoofer on, all that's working perfectly fine. And then for going through these menus here, everything's still working as well with our other app. On the home bar here, see what this vehicle app is. Oh yeah, look at that. So this is going to be what our CAN bus is reading. So like, see, now that I open my door, and then vice versa, it'll tell you how much oil we have left. My seat buckle's off. We've got a voltage meter, which I've also got down here. Your clean liquids, if your trunk's open or off. Handbrake on or off. Let's see if I don't roll out the garage. There we go, that goes on. And then tells you that I'm lifting it up. So that is pretty cool. So this is kind of your CAN bus section here. So I like that app. So to get to your dash camera from this new one, we're going to go ahead and go to App Installer and hit Install, USB-C memory, and then here it's going to show you the UCAR DVR pack. So we're going to continue on that, install the app, and we're installing the app straight off of the USB that's from our dash camera here, and I've got my SD card in there already. So we're going to go ahead and open that app. And yeah, like the colors on here are insane. The colors look really great. Hopefully that's coming across here. So so for the location, I'll do while using the app for me. And okay, keep on use. And then there's going to be our dash camera. So you can see everything on there just fine. You can see me moving a little bit. But yeah, so that worked right away. So that all works. So dash camera's already recording. And then it added in our extra app there on the bottom. Let's check out what themes we've got for our home screen there. Got a couple different options. I think I might just stick with the original theme actually. And then let's check out our settings that we have with this. So I'm gonna take my navigation here. move it down to the end. And then I'm going to take my CarPlay app and move it to this front page here. So all nice drag and drop for everything. There's everything. So when we hit CarPlay, we're going to go right back and music plays also. And then it's also going to work just to check. I figured it was going to, but just to check. And then we've got forward and reverse. So that's going to work. There's that. And then let's go backwards. And yeah, we're going to go right through as well. So, and volume working perfectly. So didn't have to configure anything. All we do is just plug it in and it worked right away. So that's a big plus in my book. Okay, so what else was I going to check? Oh, radio. Let's go ahead and check the radio. Make sure my antenna is working. So station for me is 95.5. Here's 95.1. This will work too. So there's your radio signal. Let me see if 95.5 will come in here. I'm a little far away from the city, but there we go. Got that as well. So antenna is working good, just like OEM. So we're gonna go ahead and jump around our settings here. We've got all of these. So this is our new settings look. We've got our network and internet. So this is where your SIM card will be. Hotspot. You can even do a VPN. We've got connected devices. This is going to be our Bluetooth and pairing. And then we've got car settings. So we're going to have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So I'm going to have that on because I do want to use that. Our LED settings for these bottom lights. And then we've got amplifier settings. So we've got our whole equalizer here. This is going to be a full DSP built into this thing. We've got delays if you want to set that up for your speakers. You've got volume for everything and separate subwoofer volume. We've got sound effects. So we've got loudness, fatness. I'm gonna have to see what that is, you know what I'm saying? And then we've got bass. And then we've got our frequency for each individual speaker as well. So if you decide that something's not sounding quite right in a certain speaker, you can literally set an EQ to that exact speaker. Let's say this speaker's blown out and the bass is not sounding great. I can put a low pass filter on it and turn the bass off. And by low pass, I meant to say high pass filter on it and turn the bass completely off so we can not hear that rattling around. So that is pretty cool. That is a really legit DSP built into this. And then I'm going to show my battery voltage on the display, so it'll show the 11.7 up there. And then here's our about. So we're going to go ahead and show our model, our Android version, build number, CAN bus version. If we had a SIM card, it will show it there. Our CPU, our memory, any other information that we need. Here's going to be our system settings, and then we can do check for updates. Alright guys, so that's going to be our new head unit here. I hope that everyone got a good look at it and was able to see the upgrades from the older version here. So you get more RAM, you get the nicer screen, everything just kind of runs better on it in general. And then we're also going to have a couple more upgrades to check out in the future too. So please subscribe because my subscriber count is super low and I could definitely use some help on that front. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys watching. And once again, this is the Eonon VWA12S. And once again, thank you to Eonon for sending this out. I appreciate it very much. And thank you to everyone watching. I also appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Make money, take money, earn, crack money, drug money, bail money. Heard they got life for me, how they got life for me when they took that from me. Since I had my nose, since I had my